Please subscribe my channel. I never imagined that a simple joke could destroy so many lives, but that's just what happened. I made a playful comment about wanting my husband's friend more, and that friend believed I meant it. What started as a thoughtless remark became something I could never take back. My name is Sarah. I'm 38 years old, and until last year, I was married to my husband, Mark. We lived in a quiet neighborhood in Colorado, the type of place where neighbors know each other's pets and greet everyone at intersections. Mark and I had been married for 11 years. We weren't the type for big drama. No loud fights, no major issues, just a calm relationship that had gradually lost its excitement over time. Mark was reliable. He worked steadily, always paid the bills promptly, repaired things around the home, and hardly ever grumbled. As the years passed, I began confusing that steadiness with dullness. I didn't voice it, but I felt it deep inside. I craved some adventure, more notice, anything to make me feel seen once more. Mark's closest friend, Ethan, had been part of our lives for years. He was very different from Mark in a lot of ways, more chatty, more self-assured, always telling funny stories. He was single, sociable, and appeared to live without a care. I never saw him in a romantic way. Not truly. Or at least, that's what I told myself. One evening, we hosted a casual backyard cookout at our house. A handful of neighbors joined us. There were some drinks flowing, but it was nothing extravagant. Mark and Ethan were chatting about their jobs while I sat close by, only half paying attention. Ethan joked about how lucky Mark was to have someone as understanding as me. I chuckled and replied, maybe I chose the wrong guy. Maybe I should have picked his friend instead. Everyone laughed, including Mark, though his grin seemed a bit strained. I intended it purely as humor, a silly, offhand remark. I didn't dwell on it, but Ethan didn't laugh quite like the others. Later that night, after the guests had gone, Mark was unusually silent. I asked what bothered him, and he replied, that remark you made earlier. It didn't sound like just a joke to me. I brushed it off with an eye roll. You're overreacting. You know I was only teasing. He agreed with a nod, but I sensed a change in the air. In the weeks that followed, Ethan began sending me texts. They started off light. Funny pictures, quick jokes, simple check-ins on how I was. I convinced myself it was no big deal. Mark knew we all messaged occasionally. I didn't conceal it, but I also didn't put an end to it. One evening, Ethan messaged, you know, sometimes jokes reveal true feelings. I should have ended the conversation immediately. Instead, I wrote back, don't overthink it. But honestly, I enjoyed the extra attention. Ethan began giving me compliments, saying I deserved better recognition, claiming Mark didn't value me enough. I didn't push back or defend my husband. I just listened. One afternoon, Ethan dropped by the house while Mark was at work. He mentioned he was in the area and wanted to leave something. We chatted in the kitchen. The talk felt different, more intense than normal. He brought up, that joke you told, it really stayed with me. I gave a nervous laugh. It was nothing. I don't believe that, he said. I think you were serious. My pulse quickened. Ethan, you're going too far. He gazed at me steadily. I'm only reacting to the boundary you crossed first. Those words frightened me. I insisted he leave. He did, but only after adding, if you ever decide you want what you joked about, I'm available. That night, sleep evaded me. I kept reviewing everything in my mind. I hadn't been unfaithful physically. I hadn't even touched him, but something already seemed damaged. Ethan persisted. The messages kept coming. The praise grew more direct. The overall feel shifted. And rather than blocking him or confiding in Mark, I replied cautiously, just enough to leave things open. Mark picked up on it. He questioned why I was glued to my phone so often. I dismissed it as work-related matters. Then came the evening when it all blew up. Mark and I were bickering over a minor issue. Household tasks, I believe. He eventually blurted, since that joke, I felt like I'm rivaling my own friend. That's when I lost my temper. You're making it up. Ethan actually pays attention to what I say. The statement lingered heavily. Mark looked stunned. Why are you putting me side by side with him? I stayed silent. The following day, Mark spoke directly to Ethan. I wasn't present, but Mark recounted it afterward. Ethan confessed he had developed feelings for me. He believed I felt the same. Mark returned home early that day. His expression was drained of color. "Did you ever give him reason to think this?" he asked. I attempted to clarify. I explained that I never intended for things to escalate, that it all began with a harmless joke. Mark nodded gradually. "But you didn't halt it." He was correct. Ethan went further that very evening. He texted that Mark didn't deserve me and that I ought to leave him. He declared he was prepared for a genuine relationship with me. I let Mark see the message. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't swear. He simply sat and said, "I can't continue like this." He explained that trust goes beyond physical betrayal. It's rooted in respect. And he no longer sensed respect from me or from his friend. Ethan attempted to call. Mark instructed me to answer on speakerphone. Ethan stood firm, insisting he was earnest, and that my joke had sparked his optimism. That instant made me see how severely I had erred. Mark warned Ethan never to reach out again. Then he faced me and stated, "I'm unsure if I can remain married to someone who jokes about swapping me out and then allows my friend to take it seriously." I wept. I said sorry over and over. I pleaded for him to grasp that I never schemed for this, that I never aimed to cause pain, but good intentions don't undo the harm. Mark slept in the spare room that night. A week afterward, he left the house for good, not solely due to Ethan, but because he felt embarrassed, doubtful of himself, and undervalued in our marriage. Ethan lost his longest friend. I lost my spouse. And the joke meant to amuse became the statement that finished it all. Months passed, and Mark and I attended counseling sessions. He shared that he couldn't erase my words from his memory. He couldn't overlook how casually I had teased about replacing him. Ethan vanished from our world entirely. I gained a hard but valuable lesson. Jokes often expose more than we realize. And if you make light of shattering someone's heart, don't act shocked when another person believes you, and the one who truly cared stops finding it funny.